Welcome back to the Olga S Pérez show. I'm your host, Olga. How you doing? How's everybody doing? How's it going? Where are you? How's the weather in your neck of the woods? What time is it? Well, if you guys have read the description of this video, I have a guest today, Ken Rochon. He's going to introduce himself to you guys. And we're going to shoot the shit in a way. Yeah, but just in case, I like to do my little viewers discretion advised, even for those listening to the audio. It's adult content. If you can't take the heat, if you can't take the heat, maybe you don't want to be in this kitchen. All right. It starts now. Welcome back. Welcome back. If it's your first time, awesome to have you. If you've been here before, welcome back, my love. Yeah, wow. I don't know. It's gonna be quite a live stream today. I think it's gonna take a while, and I'm gonna want to go to Rumble to get into certain things, talking about freedom, free speech, But without further ado, let me welcome Ken Rochon.
And how are you?
I'm good, Ken. How you been?
It's been a minute, hadn't it?
Yes, it has.
I enjoyed coming up to your events up in Philadelphia. Those are amazing events, very energizing.
Oh, yeah, right. The charge station. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. It was awesome to have you. In fact, I was thinking, I'm like, do you remember the first time we met? I know exactly the year.
I don't know if I know the year. I know the event. It was Digital Footprint, Philadelphia.
It was, and it was 2016.
2016. Yeah, that is about right.
Philadelphia. And you and I, there was a sizzle there. I don't know.
There was
right?
Yeah.
Well, you're on fire. You're a Leo. I'm a Leo. Get two Leos together.
So, yeah, so I have to cuss because there's discretionary warnings here.
Yeah. Well, I've already figured out with YouTube that, it doesn't even matter like whether, how many F-bombs, if it's one. And I'm like, I give up on the whole ad issue. Like, okay, well, we can't monetize, we can't put your ad or you're limited because of your language. And even when I've held back on certain words, it's just, there's like any word out there, like a word that you could use just in normal conversation. And it's like flag. I'm like, what? I don't even want to say it because then I'll get flagged. And then my whole thing is, you know how they say join them to beat them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Because you can't censor me. So tell us about yourself, Ken.
Well, I have had a lot of fun. Some people during this pandemic found themselves. I was certainly one of them. I found my real purpose and passion was applying marketing to publishing. And I just published this book. I just saw Bernardo Moya. I don't know if you ever met him before.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
That was a nice magnifier.
No, yeah. I was to make it more personal, but I didn't realize you're going to pull a book up right then and there. Yeah. What are you? You're the publisher of that book?
I'm the publisher and, like I said, marketer. So he was out in San Diego for an event called the Prosperity Camp. And I flew out there to get photos of him speaking and also sharing his book with all these billionaires and millionaires. So it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Cool. When was that?
I just got back yesterday.
Oh, wow. Wow.
We're keeping this really relevant. And then I got into children's books. My son got a letter from President Biden for his book about his favorite places in America.
Oh, wow. You wrote that?
No, my son did. I can't take credit for his work. I mean, look at this. It's good stuff here.
It is. It's beautiful.
I'll have to bring you a copy. Even the Statue of Liberty made the cut.
Very cool. Hello, talking about freedom. And what do you know? I don't know. Like, I know you have that amplified radio show. Yeah. Oh, hello, of course. How appropriate.
Well, you're going to be on my show too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know you did have me once for a few minutes. Do you
Yeah, we're gonna
remember?
have you. Yeah, that was because of your event. We're gonna have you because of your book.
We've, we, guys, for all my audience members, I've been talking about this book, several that I have written that I've not finished. Like I just keep going from like one to the other. I'm like, even when I put polls out, I'm like, what do you guys want to know about? And a lot of people are like, well, just, like what's your background and like, how did you get to where you're at? That would be one. The other one's like, we want to know about your relationships, your love life. And I'm like, okay. And then another one would be that they've, you know, requested or they've come through polls and whatnot, feedback.
Hmm.
And they're like, well, honestly, Olga, like it would be nice, like your like 5 major stories, because at the end of the day, it's the stories that they're most interested in. You know what I'm saying? Like they're
I
like, we
do.
just your stories are just so either interesting or crazy or unbelievable, that kind of stuff. But so yeah, we have to talk. Don't I have not forgotten you. You know that.
Well, I already know what the book could or should be, and it would be easy for you to put it together.
Really?
Yeah, it would be your stories of how you position yourself as a energizing, inspiring leader that's allowed your business to flourish.
But that's the thing. That's where I go down the rabbit hole and that I get lost, which is even when I've done an outline and all that, it's but which stories? There's so many. I'm like,
Yes,
I would need like a trilogy, man. It would be like
there's nothing wrong with a trilogy.
right. But then how do we start the first one?
I'll
Which
show you
stories do I pick?
the best ones.
Yeah, that's what yeah. For me, some of the best stories are maybe not as much as they're not the kind of stories that might keep people, sitting on the edge of their seat. But for me, they were game changers. You know what I mean?
I think we're going to use those ones,
Which ones?
the game changer ones. That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah,
Like the one where I lost my mind and everything included, all my income, my sanity,
that would be
my
a good game changer one. You know, Olga, when we first met, I don't think I'd even published 50 books at that point. 500 now. And here's what's weird. We're charted to do about 500 books this year by itself. That's just this year.
wow.
And these are numbers I didn't think could or would happen, but having the right people like yourself trust their story with a marketer and getting the word out. A lot of people want to have their success story, not just a story, go out on print.
Right, right. And that's where I've had. I don't know if you do. I don't think you do this, but like I had a lot of offers of people wanting me to like co-author,
Hmm.
and I had been in the shopping around for a literary agent. And so I had a few that I consulted with, or they consulted, we consulted. And they, of course, didn't advise me not to do it. I felt intuitively that it wasn't for me.
Hmm.
And it wasn't anything personal to all the offers. And I'm very grateful that they did offer it. But it was just like, nah. Like I have enough just deciding what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. And the time is now. Like, what am I waiting for? So I'm definitely going to want to talk to you about that and see if you can help me like get it done.
Well, those offers you were getting, if they didn't have a marketing system behind them, it was really just more content being collected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so then I didn't want to also go to certain publishing houses that I know, because the copyrights and all that stuff. And
Hmm.
and I felt like I've been following you, not just because we met. And, I'm like, I feel like this is more my style. But anyway, we'll have to discuss all
Well,
that
you're an
stuff.
event person. You like being in front of people. You like being with people. So that's the style we do. We do events to really get the book out there, and I think that's the only way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So what do you think about, well, what's your main thing that you're doing right now? Like what's taking most of your time right now or your passion?
I just meet lots of really cool authors or people that want to become authors. That's really my passion, is meeting them, hearing their story. Um, I've had I've had a lot of women that have left cults, like Amish cults, and it's just very interesting to hear that they got their freedom and that they are doing really well in the world, and what they had to be servants or almost slaves in their community. So that's been interesting. Helping children's authors, I love doing that. Those are I mean, you got the illustration side of it. You have the fact that they want to inspire kids, and I think it's a bucket list thing. You need to do a children's book. It's just so much fun to do. And we got a jumbotron. You know the jumbotrons at the Times Square.
Mm-mm.
You know those big screens.
Oh, those are called jumbotron.
Yeah, they are.
You learn something new every day.
Well, we're doing a big event with 100 authors there, and we're going to have 100 authors with 100 books go up on those jumbotrons over a 3-night period.
Wow.
That's a lot of authors, and that's a lot of people you can meet that are really cool.
Very cool. And when is this?
That's end of April.
End of April. Oh, great. Nice.
We got to make sure the weather's nice in New York.
That's what I mean. New York, New York. So, what do you know? Because there's a lot of stuff trending, right, on the news, whether it's news or just, cultural society things that are happening. But for me, being a content creator in this space, specifically like YouTube, vlogging, or I guess you can't call this vlogging because it is a podcast, but because it's video.
Mm-hmm.
But the traditional form of vlogging is like, what you're doing in your day, taking people with you, that kind of a stuff. I'm not sure. I believe this kind of podcasting on video doesn't really fit into that. But
I agree.
But at the same time, America is about free speech, and I'm not about politics. I'm just not. And my arguments always, or not argument, my discussion, my points are always coming from my perspective, which is completely independent. And maybe you can call me a liberal in the sense that I'm a libertarian. But then to me, it's like, don't put me in a box. Freedom is freedom. And when I've been preaching about happiness for so many years, freedom and freedom of speech to be yourself. You can't be happy, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, and of more than 20 years of experience. Every time I've helped people be free, they're empowered. It's automatic. So I don't know if you have any political, inclination. I don't. But the Steven Crowder, do you know? Like, I don't even know if you watch stuff on YouTube. Are you familiar with Steven Crowder at all, or the Daily Wire?
I am familiar with Daily Wire and not Steve Crowder. So what's Steve Crowder's point?
So he's a content creator. I guess he has a background of acting. He's a comedian. He's still doing stand-up. But he's had a very successful show called Louder with Crowder. And he's had a following follow him because he's been censored to the point that he's been demonetized for a long time now on YouTube. They'll let him back on the platform, but not to make money. So he's, his following, because he's a great entertainer, but also a great communicator.
Mm-hmm.
He does his research, has a nice team. They put things together. They look for the facts. They put the facts together. Oh, you pulled it up. What's up?
I had to. I got to check him out after the show.
Yeah. So I guess to get to the point, I guess his contract was up at the Blaze. He was working for the Blaze. Previously from that, I believe he was at Fox. Anyway, he created a following, and he calls it the Mug Club. So when he's demonetized or censored, and he's like literally deleted, punished, striked out, 2 weeks, you can't come back, And so maybe, I don't know if the Blaze didn't renew his contract, or he just didn't like the offer, whatever it was. He's looking for, okay, where am I going to go? I don't know what I'm doing next. Maybe I'll be independent. Maybe I'll
let him be on your show.
Say that again.
Let him be on your show.
Yeah, of course. Well, he puts out this video last week, or was it Monday? It was this week, I believe, actually. Now that I'm thinking, it's Friday today. And he puts out this video going, hey, after, careful consideration, I'm not sure where I'm going, but here's what I'm going to tell you. So here's the bottom line in a nutshell. Everyone's going like left and forth, like Daily Wire responded to him because he didn't call them out by name, but he was like, listen, my issue is not money. My issue is censorship and the fact that these so-called conservative, right-leaning organizations are in bed with big tech, meaning censorship. So he's so passionate, and he's Canadian born, and I believe, and then raised in the US. And he's been very clear. If you follow him, if you don't judge and don't take things out of context, he's been very clear how passionate he is. I said this the other day in my previous live streams this week, where he would wear many times a shirt saying "Fight like hell." Like he's big into Ford Washington,
Fortnite.
George Washington,
Yeah.
and like 1776 and the whole. Again, it's just freedom, and he's very passionate about it. Now I can go down and dissect, all the discrepancies on how he's handled the situation. Why did you come out and say that? But at the same time, how many things are happening behind closed doors for content creators, for speakers, that I remember, for example, well, before I tell you this real quick story where they asked me to host an event back in 2014, I think. It was right before I launched the Charge Station in 2015. But just let me put that on pause for a second. So now the Daily Wire has come out in their defense because people are like, why are you guys so quiet? It's pretty clear it's about you, although he never mentioned their name.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they came back with their answer, which was all about money, right? Meaning they're acting like they did nothing wrong. What's the big deal? They have a great position where they're defending themselves, like they, basically, and then claiming that Steven Crowder has, maybe burned a bridge, ruined some friendships, all these questions, right? Was it ethical? Should he have gone out about it? But the thing is, so many people are getting demonetized, deleted, censored, blocked, shadow banned, and it's been happening for so long. And who's spoken up for us? And then if you have these big networks.
Who's banned you?
What?
You're talking about like YouTube banning you, or?
Oh, YouTube shadow bans me. They literally won't let people watch me. Even people that have subscribed to me, they'll all of a sudden get unsubscribed. And they'll come back, they'll subscribe. An hour later, the next day, they're unsubscribed. And it's happening where even when they're clicking notification bell, even when they're following.
What's the reason? I mean, it's not just censorship, is it?
Well, for example, if you don't say that Bill Gates is wonderful, you're effed. If you say any word like the V, the jab, right? Well, if you don't say anything that the mainstream Silicon Valley wants you to say, you're screwed. That's it.
Because that's a YouTube. YouTube is owned by them.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about Elon Musk and Twitter for a second.
Let's do it.
All right. So Elon Musk wanted to get Twitter so that he could bring back people that were suspended because people like Trump, for instance.
He was more interested in the Babylon Bee.
Okay, sure. Great. But my point is, I have a friend of mine who knows his graphic artist friend is banned on Twitter because of all the comical illustrations he does about Elon Musk. And yet it's freedom of speech on Twitter now. I find that comical that you can't say anything bad about Elon now on Twitter.
I know, that's true. Exactly. The hypocrisy. But that's the thing. I'm tired of hearing that also.
Right.
He's a hypocrite. She's a hypocrite. Hypocrisy. It's like, where's that getting us? It's like.
It spiraled down.
Down.
I mean.
Another dictator.
Yeah, I know, exactly. It's a dictator move because, Stalin murdered like 1 million people that were considered too smart and that were a threat to his intelligence, basically.
Right. Right. And that's the thing. Like, that's how they get people, right? That's how they get followers. That's how they get, and everything's turning into like.
Yeah, they say they have a gun out and they say, "Would you like to follow me or die? Which one would you like to choose?"
I'm so glad you mentioned that. See, that's totally up my alley. And I mean, you're talking to a girl that my parents locked in a convent to shut me down, to shut me up, literally. Oh. Yeah. My mothers would say to me all the time, my family were embarrassed of me. They're like, her mouth. And my mother would be like, your mouth will be the ruin of you, And I'm like, you watch me. My mouth is it's gonna make it. Because it's not that my mouth.
And look at you now. You're censored everywhere.
What? Say that again?
And look at you now. You're censored everywhere, Olga.
Exactly. She was right. It's like, shut your mouth. She's like, why can't you just be she would always say, I mean, this is like at least once a day. You're so pretty. But every time you open your mouth, diarrhea. And I get it. She wanted to be a cute little blonde, little ladylike girl with green eyes, especially being a Spaniard. And I was the only blonde with green eyes in my immediate family, my 6 siblings,
Where were you born?
Say that again?
Where were you born?
Naples, Italy, and then
Right
raised
near
in
Florida.
Spain.
Right near Florida. That's crazy.
No, Italy, baby,
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Italy.
detected that
Che
Florida
cosa
accent
fa?
there.
Hey,
Forget
it's so
about it.
funny. Go ahead.
I said forget about it.
Forget about it. Yeah, you see how I start my life? How you doing? It's funny. I dated this chef years ago, um, from Italy, like literally like off the boat. You know what I mean? He came here. He had a working visa. Now he's back in Italy. He turned a castle into a bed and breakfast and a
Wow.
restaurant, gorgeous, looking over the Adriatic Sea. I was there, but anyway, it's funny because the Italians, the way they look at people from Philly, the South Philly Italians, they're like kind of like the Africans looking at like Black Americans. You know what I mean, or people of color. They'll be like, we have nothing in common. It's like, and I get it. I get it. And this guy would say to me all the time, do it again. And even when I went to visit him and his family in Italy, he was like, Olga, do the, how you doing? How you doing? He just loved that shit. So it's always been a thing with me
They
where,
wouldn't do it? They don't do it? That's an American thing?
no,
Okay.
come on, that's American.
I know, but isn't it funny, like, you go to Italy and you have pizza and you're like, "This is not pizza."
Right, 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 right. And then the Italians come here going, this isn't pizza.
Well, say in Chinese food too. You go to China, there's no
Totally.
way. Oh my God.
Totally. Because I make one of my favorite areas of China, Szechuan, and Szechuan food specifically. And like,
Yeah.
and I'm like a kind of a little bit of a snob with that shit. Like, I know my Szechuan peppercorns. I roast them. I got a cast iron wok. Like every single step that I can get the most authentic. Yeah, you're right. Nothing, because I can't
Well,
find it here in the restaurants.
Well, you
Go
go
ahead.
to China and you ask for General Tso's chicken. They're like,
Doesn't
"Okay,
exist.
we don't know who that dude is, and we don't use chicken."
That's true. That's true.
I know. I know. But, cat has never tasted better.
You know what? I just want to say, I usually say hi to all my wonderful YouTube fam and Twitch and Rumble. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Hope you're enjoying this special segment with Ken Rochon. I always pronounce things wrong. They know, by the way, that I
No, that
pronounce
you did
everything
good.
wrong.
That's even sultry the way you pronounced it. You did the French sultry, Rochon.
Rochon. Oh, poisson.
So, during the pandemic, I got my PhD and I'm now Dr. Smiley, which has been a big.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a thing, like a marketing thing with the Dr. Smiley.
No, I legitimately did it. Studied entrepreneurology through the International University of Entrepreneurology itself.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Congrats.
Well, it's changed the game. I want to tell you, I've been wanting to get you in this book here. It's a little guy. You see how?
Yeah, little guy. My
Yeah.
God, that looks like an.
It's 800 pages, but it's called Dose of Hope,
I love it.
and it's actually it's not censored. It allows
That was a
anyone
good
that
one.
wants to share about inspiration and hope to have a full vocal access to their heart and to the endorphins, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, any chemical that will bring hope to the world. I want you in it.
I would love to be in it.
You've
Thank
heard
you
of TED
for-
Talks, right?
Say that again?
TED Talks. You've heard of TED Talks.
Of course.
Of course. So this
Fact.
is a TED Talk on how you create who you are so you can have a purpose that impacts the world with hope.
By the way, I don't know, just to let you know, my audience pretty much knows I get verklempt. When I'm excited, I get verklempt. Literally. So if you're wondering, like, what's going on with her, I'm just verklempt. No problem here.
You are verklempt nice.
Okay, well, thank you. Real quick. So Tanya Gray, look at this. Tanya, hello, love. I used to own my own literary agency. Go independent.
Boom.
Look at that.
She could have been censored for that in some countries.
See that, Tanya? But I'm just saying, like, I'm so grateful that when I started this channel, and I'm still going at it, but they're making sure nobody knows I exist. And so, of course, it's frustrating. But I've been so fortunate to have a lot of people that, whether they become a member, I've also started a locals channel so they can become a member there, so I can really be myself, taking behind the scenes, you name it, talking about independent as well. But even even those who have not become a member. But hey, guys, if you haven't become a member, become a member. But like, comment, share this content.
How do you
Sharing is
become a
caring.
member? What's the membership include?
So the membership, the YouTube channel membership, there's like members only live chats, stuff like that. But it's mostly just to support, to make sure that I can afford to keep coming here. And that they're also, by becoming a member, letting me know, hey, we don't want you to go away. Honestly, that's really what keeps me coming. And like I said, even if they don't become a member or whenever they decide to become a member, their comments, it really is massive when people are like, I love what you're doing. Meanwhile, the world doesn't know I exist because YouTube, talk about, again, dictatorship. And I'm also tired of how they constantly say it's a free platform. We can do what we want under, Section 230. It's like, what person goes to work for free for a long time or for maybe forever? And they'll tell you, well, if your channel doesn't work after 5 years, maybe people don't care about you and they don't like you. And that's bullshit. It's a fact that they keep you down. If you're not saying what they want you to say, if they can't, push, there's like a news section as well. You go to the news section, it's all the MSM, CBS, ABC, CNN.
Well, so we can save your show, Olga. We should do a little bit of a twist in the show so we can save it. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of lines here. You follow my lead. This is unscripted, impromptu, and we're going to get your show right to be one of the top YouTube channels advertised on YouTube. Are you ready?
Ready.
Boy, I'll tell you, this YouTube, it is making stars left and right. People that care about YouTube and know that YouTube is the best know that this is where you need to be right now if you have a message.
That was really good. Super cute. And I'm going, and?
and you were supposed to say, and that's why I'm here. I'm a believer.
But like you said, it was improv. I suck at ad lib. I really do. And again, I think if my audience likes me, I must say, I think, guys, quote me if I'm wrong in the comments. Isn't it the fact that it's because I'm so not scripted, making all these mistakes? But you can feel it. You can feel the sincerity and the authenticity. And that's where I think honesty always will win, even if I can't put the greatest show. That's the other thing with the whole Steven Crowder thing, where he puts a great show, but he needs a production to do it. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I'm in the same boat. The more members I get, the more I can afford to get help and to produce way beyond. And I don't mean produce to have it all scripted. I mean, so that it's flawless, more. I mean, I got so many ideas.
Well, I have two ideas for you. First of all, I want you to get your book done like soon, by end of February. And I want to put your book on Times Square. And that's going to get out to about 100,000 people.
Oh God. I'm getting like weebie-jeebies in my stomach.
You're getting verklempt. You're going to get And then the other thing, Olga, is this only takes you 3 hours, but you're going to write your Dose of Hope story, and this goes out to 20 million people.
Wait, one story?
One story.
Victor, give me 1 second. Victor! Welcome to my new member. Victor! Wait, hold on. We got to celebrate. We got this moment. There's
Victor,
only one.
We're so happy to have you. We are enjoying having Victor before he actually is unsubscribed by YouTube.
Yay! Yo! Victor! Hey!
You might have to subscribe again tomorrow.
Welcome. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you for the love and support. I promise you won't be disappointed. But Victor's been with me for a hot minute, huh, Victor?
So I just gave you...
MM is in the house.
Hey,
Olga and Ken. I don't know. Can you see my screen? Can you see the screen? Looking forward to a future book release. Ooh, thumbs up. Happened to watch Candace Owen on Timcast. Uh-huh. I won't get into it since Ken doesn't really know the whole story, and I was trying to give him to him in a nutshell, but clearly it's too loaded. But I got all my clips ready. I'll screen share later, and then we'll go to Rumble and then really rip it up. Because you know me. But anyway, sorry. Steven's appearance on Tim's show on Monday should be great. fire emoji. Yes, yes, yes. And oh no, and did you notice how Candace, Tim Pool said that Candace was booked a while ago, so that she didn't just happen to show up because of all this drama. And again, make it very clear, I'm not talking about this subject to jump on the trending wagon and the drama. This is for me not drama. Everyone's making it into drama. I think he's very clear and very emotional about the fact that it's about free speech, and that somebody's got to stand up and lead for how big tech is basically making everybody not be yourself, number one. Number two, these people that are like, but look, we're doing our best. No, not when you're in bed with big tech. Then, I know you're looking at it as a business. You want to make money. But if you're so big anyway, why don't you just take all the audience you took from YouTube, right? Again, you're lying to the audience when you say we represent real speech when you really don't. Anyway, Kenda, you don't know the whole story, but like the contract they gave him. Now, obviously, to me, it's like we don't even have to have a discussion of he could have renegotiated or like, they go back and forth, right? Here's what I want. Here's what you want. You know what I mean? And you come further and further to an agreement with all the lawyers involved. That's a no-brainer. At the end of the day, the biggest clause is if YouTube demonetizes him, if YouTube strikes him, cuts his video off, obviously the company loses money, right? If he can't be aired on for like the mass audience on YouTube. But that's the thing. So you're going to get your pay docked every time through Apple Podcast, YouTube. It was in the contract and they didn't deny it. They came out with it. They're like, but hey, it's a risk investment for us because he doesn't just lose money, we lose money. It's like, that's the point, people. Like, why can't you tell big tech, how about all our eyes, all the people that are on us, how about we just go? How about if everyone knew that the people they were supporting are not supporting their beliefs? That's the point, that they're pretending to support free speech and the Constitution and the law that's still in place, as far as I'm concerned, regardless if people are acting on it or not. But anyway.
It's hard to keep an audience disciplined like that. They'll just go to another channel with their votes.
But that's the thing, though. What happens? It's like even like, what's it?
No, but I'm saying
Mastodon?
it'd be going to another YouTube channel.
But that's Rumble.
Okay.
But Rumble doesn't have it's doing better every day and growing and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And they just became a part of NASDAQ a few months ago. But it doesn't change the fact that the majority of the world is on YouTube. It's got like a 10, 15 year ahead of the race.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're on top of it, Google, that's also involved in everything, they can get you left and right. Kanye, the whole thing that happened to Kanye. This is a guy who's got millions. And they cut him off because he said something they didn't like. It doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? So if they could do it to him, but he could still survive that. But everyone else that has had their lives destroyed over something, they weren't terrorists. They weren't saying anything bad. Seriously. And yet you got this one group of people, whether you call it one side or the other. Again, I don't even like to call it one word or the other to give it any clout or meaning. But when you got people on one side that if you say all these things, then you're fine. You don't get a strike. So all you have to do is say what this side wants, which is what big tech.
Well, I think I've protected my career on YouTube by saying the message I gave. It was a very clean and uplifting message about how YouTube is the place to be.
Good way to bring it back, Ken. Good way to bring it back. Yeah, no, there's other platforms, but what happens is they all become echo chambers.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's talking about, oh, well, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. It's like, I don't want to be somewhere where we all agree. I want to have a discussion and say, well, why do you think that way? Okay, all right. But no, everybody's like children.
I just don't like it when I disagree and they say, can we agree to disagree? And I'm like, that is not going to cut it in the show.
I agree with you. I remember the first time I heard that was in 2001. I'll never forget it. A friend of mine, Gemini at the time, and she goes, Olga, she was Venezuelan too. And she's like, can we just agree to disagree? I was like, what kind of shit is that? Like, I get it. You want to drop the conversation? Fine. But I'm not going to agree to disagree.
Right.
That's the stupidest shit. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I tell them, I say, I'm going to disagree bigger about us disagreeing.
So what do you think about free speech? Honestly, what do you think about big tech being
I
able?
think they should charge for it.
What, free
Free
speech?
speech.
Like,
At least $1. Make some money on that free speech.
so it won't censor you, will monetize from it.
I was joking.
I was actually taking you
Said, what
serious.
do you think about free speech? I was like, you should charge for it. I mean, that's just too natural. But I'm in this country. That's where free speech is supposed to happen. But does it really happen?
But
So,
we allow it to happen.
we allow it to happen.
Yes.
I don't think this is a country of free speech. That you say things the wrong way and you're ostracized. You're
But
constantly.
that's the point of free speech, right? Meaning, I mean, anything. Okay.
Okay, free speech with no consequences, I guess.
Remember that show or that event that I did that they asked me to host, right?
Mhm.
I'm the host, and you got to tell a story, entertain the crowd. It was a storytelling event, and I had won a couple times and whatnot, so they asked me to come as a guest, unpaid and all that. No problem, I go. And I forgot exactly what I was talking about, but I was self-deprecating. Like I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm just mentally challenged here. Give me a second." Like, because I wasn't meant to be a host. I wasn't trained to be a host, but they asked me to, and I was doing my best to entertain the audience and introduce all the contestants and whatnot. But the moment I said I'm mentally challenged as a joke, as soon as I finished introducing somebody and they get on stage and they tell their story and I go down, I get management to come up to me and they go, "Hey, Olga, do me a favor. I mean, we know you, we love you, and you're so funny and entertainment. The audience really loves you, but a couple people complained about, like politically correct. Like you can't say you're mentally challenged. I know it's self-deprecating and you're not hurting anybody and it's just about you, but people are uncomfortable with that. So can you please not say that?" And that was in like I said, 2013 or something, 2014. And I was like, "What?" And the moment they said that, I could no longer, I mean, I did it. I finished. Like I did the hosting. I did it.
Right.
But you could tell immediately it was worse than like a wet blanket on me. It was like, okay, boom, here's the next person, boom. You get what I'm saying? It's not because I was hurt. I wasn't offended. I wasn't hurt. It was the fact that, well, if I have to watch that, do you see what I mean? They just took away what they liked about me. They just took it away. Because
100%.
One or two people in a crowd of 300 people said, "Oh, she shouldn't say that. It makes me uncomfortable." And I already knew the tide was turning culturally. And then my own interns would start saying to me things like in 2017, they're like, "Olga, there's this big thing now, people becoming woke, especially like the new age, the people that are spiritual or go to yoga and stuff like that." And it became very popular, became pretty trendy. And they're like, "What do you think about the whole woke thing?" And I'm like, "Woke what?" I had to get myself educated, like bring myself with the times with these interns. And then I go, first of all, even if it sounds cool to say woke, right? Okay, it comes from the word awake. I'm like, but the way you guys are using the word woke is completely fake, false. I said, honestly, I squashed it in 1 second. I said, if you can't walk on water, you ain't woke. That was my thing. I'm like, stop acting like I'm woke. I'm spiritual. I'm this. I do everything right. I eat right. I say all the right things. I got the PC police, certification. It's like,
see, for me, before that, I was able to use my name with awake Ken, and when woke came up, I just did awoke Ken. So I mean, I was good.
I love that. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's so cool. Yeah.
I was dope with woke. I was dope with woke.
Well, it's so funny. Wait, what did you ask me right before? Because I said, "Oh, that brings me back to the story of the hosting and how they were censoring me." But what were we saying right before? I mean,
are you doing events?
I did one last year, and I just haven't had time. It's just too much because I have to hire a whole crew. I have to train them. I usually only have them, because the events aren't all the time. It's not a full-time position. It's just too much work. And I Never really made any money off of them for several reasons. One of them was sales, getting people to get sponsors,
Hmm.
whether it's like even the city itself. I just couldn't do it all. I was coaching, I was doing this. And now I've kind of put everything.
I want to help you. I want to help you do an event in Philly.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, that just happened a few months ago. I had a couple people say that. We had a few meetings and I was like, I can't. It was meeting after meeting. I'm like, what are we doing here? You said you're the sponsor person. Go get some sponsors. You keep asking me more about the company and what I do. It's right there on the internet. I've already told you. I've sent you all the docs. Like, you know the mission.
Well,
And
since we
yet
do,
they
since we
just
do
wanted to keep
25,
talking.
I know, but Olga, since we do 25 events a year, you know that we don't have time to talk. We just plan it. We create it.
Right. But again, who's going to set the stage? Who's going to pay for the stage?
Well,
Right.
we need some people that actually see the value of having people come to their event, their location.
Right.
I mean, that is how we do the 25 events is we bring a lot of people. We bring 100 people to 200 people to the events.
Yeah. Well, I'm more into this whole you set the stage and have me come as a guest speaker. Because all that background, all the stage work, getting the audio, the sound engineers, all the marketing.
I think it's a lot of production that we're not doing for our 25 events. We're looking more for a location and a simple sound system is what we do.
The simple sound system that you pay for or that you bring along?
We typically have a sponsor take care of that.
See what I mean? And I was too busy to even make that happen. And even when I hired people to do it, it just didn't. It was always me going, did you call? Did you send the email? Did you follow up with the email? You know what I mean? I'm like babysitting the whole time. And then it just takes away the whole point on what we're doing here. You know what I mean? Like Madonna's not setting the stage and singing at the same time. Speaking of Madonna, did you see just this morning? I saw somewhere she has this new tour coming up. I'm like, why is she doing a tour? Have you seen her lately? Like,
yeah, I have.
What?
Yeah.
No, like, I'm not saying you cannot go on tour and sing forever to the day you die, but like, girl, something's wrong with you. Like, and I used to be a #1 fan back in the day, talking the 80s, before she started having her fake British accent. And then I was like, okay, I'm done. She used to be cool. She used to be edgy, like Against the Machine, that kind of a thing.
All right, well, we're gonna post her on the social media, and we're gonna see how many people are interested in coming to an event, and that way we'll know. It's gonna be easy to create.
What, Madonna?
No, we call them the mover and shaker events.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do a lot of them.
I've seen them.
We bring a lot of cool influencers, a lot of cool authors, leaders.
It's we got a lot to talk about.
We got a lot to talk
about. But what do you think is the most important thing right now in the world, in your world? What is the #1 most important thing?
My son.
Hey, yeah. I should have said without
including family. I think it's stepping into your power and seeing what you got. There's just too many people that are playing in this very comfortable state, and they're not seeing what this journey is going to take them to if they actually play big. I think that's the most important thing, is waking people up.
Absolutely. Waking them up to what?
Waking them up that they can be the change they want to see in the world. Waking them up that there's a problem in the world, they could be part of the solution.
That's my own mantra, is be the light you want to see.
And since we're talking about waking them up to something, I really meant to say woken them up. Woke. You like how I brought it back?
Yes, I do. Because you see how I couldn't bring my ass back? I was like, wait, I had somewhere I was going with this.
No, but I'll give you a couple examples. They're really small examples, but they speak to the point. You have a person in front of a stage and they're talking to an audience, and it could be you, it could be me, it could be 100 other speakers, and they say, take this action to step in your power. Just like get this book or text or something. And you just see like a lot of people have their eyes up front and they're not doing, like if the speaker says to me, here's my number, they have got a text within 30 seconds. Because to connect with that speaker means I'm connecting to someone that's going to take me somewhere.
Right. Oh, it's all about
So that's
connection.
what I'm talking about, taking those actions that you get in the habit of not taking action. That becomes how your life is.
Right. Right.
My son has his 10th book coming out, and it's his 10th birthday on June 14th. And he's the one who decided that, not me. He said, Daddy, if I do 4 more books in the next 2 years, I'll have 10 books on my 10th birthday. I said, you go.
That's
I have no
nice.
doubt in my mind that he's going to be someone that can change the world in some way.
Me either. I've seen a few pictures of him, and he gives me that vibe. You know
Yeah.
me, I'm all about my intuition.
Well,
I believe.
that's why I want to get your events going again. I think you had the great idea and the right theme. I think there's just a little bit of an ingredient shift that has to happen with maybe more authors, speakers, and influencers. So you get some things that are important to you, like freedom of speech, and followership and sponsorship will happen.
Right. That's the bottom line, because if it's costing me money and not making me money, and then it's creating a lot of stress, and it also was making it harder for me to work with my clients,
Of course.
consulting and coaching. So it was like, for me, the 2020 lockdown, COVID, that had nothing to do with it. In fact, I took that time to really delve more into writing.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was other things, there was people being depressed and whatnot. So I went down this other road with my other channel, and that was a great journey. A lot of people very, very grateful for me showing up and giving them, positivity and hope in many ways. Well, I don't want to go down that road right now. Anyway, Ken, to be continued. I don't want to take any more of your time. It was awesome catching up.
You did not take it. You used it correctly.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I look forward to having you back soon. You know what? I can already see what's going to happen. Hopefully the next time you join me here in the podcast, because this one is because we literally have not spoken in a long time.
At least 3 years. Yeah, it's been too long.
Guys, I have not even, we've been texting, but we really haven't spoken. So I'm glad that we just got this started.
This is the fire that lit the chamber for being what? Verklempt?
Verklempt. And I put that emoji in the description today.
Did you? Good job.
Without further ado, thank you. I will touch base. I'll follow up with you.
We're bringing Philly, the Movers and Shakers event.
You guys hear that? Movers and Shakers. I'll keep you guys posted. Anyway, Ken, I'm going to continue on, guys, and then maybe I'm going to go to Rumble because it might get a little ugly. But Ken, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Much love, and I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, everyone? I know, right? I'm not used to having guests, although I keep saying I'm going to have more and more guests. But even just finding the guests, booking them, etc. So I'm very grateful for Ken and giving me the time. He made it so seamless, and I'm so grateful for that. It really, but yeah. And can you imagine that I'm going to be, I'm not going to, I don't know yet, but could he be the publisher? We'll talk. I'll keep you guys posted. Victor, yay, Olga, I love you. Yay. Welcome. Who's here? So who's still here? Okay, we got Mary Tasho. Hello. We got Mary Tasho, Victor. All right, guys, I hope you guys are still. Morton. Hello. Hello from Sandnes. Hope I said it right. Norway. It's been a beautiful day. That's great. And now it's 6:30 p.m. Uh-oh. What time is dinner over in your neck of the woods? Robert, good morning, good afternoon. Of course, Tanya Gray. Travis, raised in Minnesota. Who did? You? Were you raised in Minnesota? Love it. Oh, you guys talking about, Mug Club? Were you guys talking about the Rekieta Law guy too? Oh my God. How much did I miss in the live chat? Oh, thanks, Tanya. I hope you guys did enjoy that. Wasn't really planned. I reached out to him a couple weeks ago, and he was like, sure. He sent me a link, whatever, booked it up. And he was on time. I couldn't start on time like I like to because life happens. What happens? My toilet wouldn't stop running. And a repairman came. And when does he come? Right when I'm like going on, I had to open the door. So thank you guys for your love, your patience, your support. Boo! So yeah. So as you can see, we didn't talk about Crowder, anything. I didn't think he would know anything about it, but again, he did know about the Daily Wire, or at least he knows of them. So yeah, I was like, well, do I really get into it? Because but in a way, it was also good to have that conversation because that happens with most people in my circle, in my personal circle, where I'm like, have you ever heard of this guy? Like Steven Crowder. Daily Wire. Oh, no, I don't think so. Maybe, so I have to explain it all in a nutshell because clearly this stuff can't be just done and said in 2 seconds. But yeah, I got my little tabs. Man, look at this. Look at this little tab lineup that I have here. Let me see. You see that? So I got a Candace one. Oh, this is a whole different one. Oh, I forgot. I thought I might go into that. I got Candace response, then Candace on Tim cast. Oh, this is Secular Talk and their opinion about it. And I'm like, because again, I like to hear all kinds of voices because my thing is, are they missing or are they getting it? And then this little clip that shout out to the quartering. Of course, I want to talk about how the president, Kamala Harris, which again, you know me, unleashing the power of perspective, one reaction at a time. And then for reaction video, okay, that's another thing, that tab, because I want to show you, like, wait till I explain to you how I found that today's trending creator on the rise and how it's just a prime example of how I am being oppressed. Yes, I said it, oppressed. Yeah, I don't look it right. Oh, yes, I am. And it's not the first time. And I'm not a wuss about it. And I'm not even butthurt. I'm just calling a spade a spade. And if you don't like it, you got a personal problem. But I definitely invite you to talk to me if you're that person. We got to talk about it, man. Trust me. I will treat you as my favorite guest. You will not be attacked. And then the next tab, I'm not even going to open it up because I even think the bots can read the screen, even if I don't say the words, and boom. And I'm like, I don't know if we're going to have time to get into it, but that would be definitely something for a Rumble. So anybody at Rumble, thank you guys. If you haven't already, smash that like button, Rumble and YouTube and Twitch. Do it. Let them know, like, I'm here. I'm listening. I like this. Even if it just made you smile. We don't have to agree. But we have to support each other. We have to. Oh, yeah. So I'm sorry. So this is the Google thing. So real quick, where am I? I'm back again. Wait. All right. Google laying off. And I go, isn't that funny with all this happening between Crowder and the Daily Wire and everyone getting all into it, that Google, is anybody paying attention? Laying off about like 12,000 people now. Hey, big tech, why are you letting everybody out? That's the thing. Is censorship, because a lot of people have been talking about how the censorship, like, why would they do that? Because they lose money too, right? Because they claim to be, even the CEO of Google is claims, and YouTube, specifically YouTube actually, and they claim that they're looking for new content creators, that they need new stuff. But that's a lie. You want new of the same shit. So you're seeing it's not working, number one. But number two, if these people, Google and YouTube, they're like this, right? So therefore, they can get rid of half of their content creators because they still have all the money and all the power. Do you see what I mean? They're not missing any money. They're the 1%. They already got all the wealth, all the control. So when people are talking about, well, that's kind of stupid of YouTube because they'll lose money when they cut people out and, or not give them incentives and people are going to move to Rumble. Man, stop with this shit. Drop the point about money. This is not about money. I said it from the get-go. You know me. I dare to say I'm a little ahead of the times here. Don't even say that the guy's a bad business guy. And I'm not defending Steven Crowder. I'm not. This is not about him. I'm just going, yo, I get it. And I hope, and I do believe, they're saying it's all an act. I don't think so. I stand my ground on this one. And it will be, the proof will be in the pudding on whether he caves or not, whether he really, because some people can change their mind, Enough suffering might make you, enough loss of money and stuff, it might make you bend a knee, so to speak. But we don't know. But I'm going to bet that the more people join the movement of telling big tech, changing the laws, the fact that they can get rid of you, basically fire you without any notice for any reason, change their rules anytime, nobody would go to work. Nobody would start a job that way. Nobody goes to work for free. So all these, it's like the worst business model. But people go, hey, they look at the people that are doing well. Clearly, I'm one of them going, hey, but I'm not saying I want a piece of this pie and I want this space. I'm saying I'm not seeing what I want out there. So if I'm not seeing it and I'm sick of what I got to choose from, boom. And believe me, I'm not saying I'm the greatest, but at least I get up and I go to bed at night knowing I was myself, I was honest, and I'm going to take this as far as I can. Obviously, I got to eat. So if at one point I can't survive this, then let's see where, the world, God, the universe, the journey takes me. I'm fearless, though. I'm fearless because of you. And if you think you're the only person, if you think only my subscribers are the only people in the whole world that feel the way we feel, that understand me, that get me, that I get you know what I'm saying? Because we're one. That's what they want us to believe. That's exactly why they squash so hard. And they lie so hard. But like the press secretary slipping out. You think they really slipped out that Kamala Harris is the president? I mean, come on. Talk about magic tricks. Talk about the Wizard of Oz. And look how long ago that movie was made. I mean, there is nothing new under the sun. And I'm just not here for it. I'm not going to show up every day, whether I show up on YouTube or not, or Rumble or wherever. Whether I never show up on these platforms ever again. I'm not getting up every day in my life and saying this life and this world is okay. Because since I can remember, seriously, since I was a kid, since my first memory, I think I already told you guys this. And for those who don't know, like most of my family albums growing up, and I'm one of 6, I'm the 4th of 6. I like most of the pictures, I'm like this. Not because I'm throwing a tantrum, not because I'm mad, because I'm told to shut up. Do you feel me? So it's like, and you know what? The more they keep plucking out these, I guess you can call them leaders, right? Or these voices that have created a space and a following, which I would call connection, then again, just like they did with Alex Jones, you take one person out, it's inevitable that somebody else is going to take their spot. And even more than one, there's going to be several popping up. And that's the thing. That's the movement. By the way, I do think it's kind of corny. I would have never called it a movement. So again, this is not about agreeing with Steven Crowder. This is about the fact that they should not, Daily Wire should not, no one should, especially those claiming they believe in the Constitution and freedom. Those people need to be straight up going, you know what? We're going to take our business elsewhere. hey, like I always say, join them and then beat them, right? In a sense, not beat them literally. You know what I mean? It's like they have the power. They do, to flip this and to show big tech, you need us. We have the power. It's the audience. And that's what pisses me off. That you're using our eyes and our ears to make money. We all choose one side or the other, or one content creator for another, or one show and channel for another, for reasons that we believe, that we agree, or that we like their style. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically like somebody who's, again, I don't like to give it a label and tags, but I want to say hello real quick to my Rumble people. Hello. Thank you for being here. If you haven't subscribed, smash that subscribe. You won't regret it. I promise. And for all my local members, I've been working on sending you guys a link to meet me behind the scenes, do our own live. And if you haven't considered becoming a local member, consider becoming it, because it is the business model of the locals that I'm going to need a certain amount of supporters in order to do more content on that. Right now, I use it all up too quickly. So moving forward, until I get more supporters, more members in the community, then I'm only going to be able to do 5 lives a month. So like 1 a week or so. But then with more, I'll get to do 10 and so forth. But I'm like, what's the easiest way to send you guys a link to hang out and talk with me? And so I'm like, Zoom. I'm like, because people have to download it. I open a Discord and I'm like, nah, and then you got to register. And all of them have like limitations. You got to pay more and more money in order to have more and more people. They might let you get 5 people in, but not 10. You know what I'm saying? So the truth is, everything costs money. And when you're supporting me, that's what you're doing, guys. You're 100% making it possible for me to come and give, and the sky's the limit. And I know we're going to go places, all of us. Trust me. So Amber, ooh, this is a new name. Amber Krebelis. Hello from Canada. Hey, Evil V Twin. Welcome. Hail, honesty, accountability, loyalty. This is, M. Krebelis? Is that how you say your handle name? Hail, honesty, accountability, loyalty, integrity, and coming together from all backgrounds. Yes! Thank you! I love that. Well said. Who else have I missed? Oh, man, Tanya Gray. Yes, I did not like her response, and I just took a little snippet. D. Potter, hello. Welcome back. I just saw you from the corner of my eye. Oh, MM says, Olga, if you don't receive a response from the Mug Club, you should look into contacting Ezra Levant. Okay, from Rebel. I know who he is, CDN. But has reporters from all parts of the world. Epic video with Greta yesterday. Oh, he did one? Ooh, I'm going to look that up. Thank you, MM. So, yeah, so obviously the first thing I notice, right, is, her response, right? And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to play the whole thing, because you don't need to. But some of the things she was saying, I'm like, you're acting like a mama bear that's afraid for your food, for your family. I'm just telling you in the most basic sense, okay? And I'm not insulting her. I don't judge her. I warned you guys, and I told you that she's been given a platform where she's shown that she's got a bit of growing up to do, to be very nice. But this is how you see someone's true colors and their growth. Where are they at in their life? Yes. Does Steve Crowder know about business? No, I don't think he knows a lot about business. Do I think he knows some? Yes. So what? So he's going to learn. So he's going to tumble. He's going to make some mistakes. That's what we all do. But this girl also claims that she's a businesswoman. And again, so she knows it all. The truth is, honey, Your words and your emotion is already showing that you're acting emotional. You have an emotional response. You are feeling threatened. Because you, of all people that tells everyone all the time, don't be offended, free speech. What's this? Why are you acting like you're defending them when she's saying, I don't, guys, there's many things that the Daily Wire does that I don't agree with and I don't defend them. Obviously, I stay out of it. Why are you taking this so personal? There's a reason for everything. And projecting is all of it. So again, for me, on a most basic level, Mama Bear is afraid. This just made her feel very insecure. It stroked that chord at a very, very basic level.
The big con, obviously, it was mudslinging. And if this was the Daily Wire, which I wasn't entirely sure that it was, but as I said, it was heavily implied. Then
Guys, how is the audio on that? Because sometimes, when I share a video, if I don't show the actual tab, I think you guys tell me you can't hear it. Let me know. Well, you know what? I'll just go ahead and remove it and then just go straight to the tab just to be safe. It's just, obviously, it's just another step that takes a little longer. And of course, I wish I could be more smooth. Here we go.
Also threw mud on me. He threw mud on Matt Walsh. He threw mud on Michael Knowles. He threw mud on every single person, Brett Cooper, that works for Daily Wire.
First of all, he never said their name. So what are you talking about? That's a lie.
By implying that we are signing these contracts and he is heroic for not signing it.
That's a good way to say it, yeah. He implied. He didn't say you. He didn't even say the Daily Wire originally, right? And again, I am not defending him. I'm saying their reaction tells you more than the fact of whether he morally did the right thing to put it out there. Yes, if I was his coach, I would have said, don't do it. But if he would have came back to me as a client and said to me, or as a friend even, and said, Olga, if I don't say what's happening behind the scenes, then we're in the same boat, just like before the Twitter files. And then I would have said, do it. Know the repercussions. But if you stand true to not, as she meant, oh, see, she's about to say that he's trying to act heroic. That's your interpretation, Candace.
That works for Daily Wire by implying that we are signing these contracts and he is heroic for not signing it. And pulling out excerpts of the contract to say, basically, we're beholden to big tech, right? And I don't like that. If you want to rev up your engine.
You don't like that. Well said, Candace. You just said it all with that. You don't like that. So you don't like it. And now you're going to be giving any tool you have to hit back because you don't like it. Does it affect your job? That's the question here. Because if you're not losing your job, he's not doing anything that will make you lose your job and your money, you don't like it. Why don't you like it? Hold on.
And fire up your big truck. Don't get mud on my car, right? That's my thing. If you want to go to war, keep me out of it. At least say this was a contract that was offered to me. He kind of makes this plea. And again, people were just on board with it. But I will also be honest that I was a bit disturbed. Like I said, heavy accusations that this is how the contracts are being handled. This would mean and imply that I was working for an organization that is not acting in the capacity of what I would like, how I would like them to act, right? Or acting in good faith toward the talent. And it felt predatory. So the first thing that I did was I reached out to executives here and was like, what is this? Are you guys going to respond to this? I want to know whether or not you're actually treating people poorly behind the scenes because it matters to me. It's always mattered to me. Okay. You can speak to any organization that's ever worked with me. I have a very good reputation. I maintain friendships with everybody. I do. I don't personally know Steven Crowder. To be honest, the first time I ever had any correspondence with him, he was a bit of a dick to me. You can bleep that out, whatever. But he offered me online to come on the show. I said yes. And an hour later, he lied and said that I canceled, and I never did. And then he corrected it and said, oh, we got confused. And I just thought that's pretty crappy that you publicly tweeted. At the time, I think he had more followers than me, that I canceled on your show and I never did. But anyways, I never met him in person. And I think he's tremendously talented. And I laughed all the way through his election night coverage. So I didn't really have a horse in this race. And I wanted the Daily Wire to respond to it. I said, you have to respond to this. This makes us all look guilty. People are now thinking I signed a contract with this, like I sold my soul to the devil. This is the implication here. So Jeremy Boring, the co-CEO of Daily Wire, did in fact give a response, actually a thorough response, a 1-hour response.
I'm wondering how did I mess it up? There was a cute part where the way she calls them stupid. So it's not the words. You get what I mean? There's everything. There's so
took
much
us 5 months
in the details. You could talk all you want. I'm watching you. I'm watching your body language. I'm watching your energy. I am feeling you. And you're not being a nice person. I can get it. You're angry. Which then she goes to Tim Pool, goes to his Timcast IRL, and she totally, again, there's the whole, I just don't want to spend all this time sharing the entire clip, especially if you've already seen it. I definitely invite you to watch it. And watch this on her show and then go to this. But let me see.
Lawyers going over what I'm saying. They say, business success.
Right.
This is totally normal in the capacity. Crucial
Hold on a second.
As of a Daily Wire, he was out of the information up front onto every single person. And it's egocentric, right? It's going, this was my experience, and therefore it must be everybody else's experience. And so I'm going to be the hero by saying that everyone's
See, if she didn't use those words like hero, if he was so wrong, just say he was wrong. Like, just that simple. Like, he didn't give us a chance. He didn't give the Daily Wire a chance. First of all, why are you even speaking? Again, she feels personally threatened. That's the bottom line. Why? Number one. Number two, she keeps using the word heroic and hero. Because the truth is, everybody wants honesty. Everybody wants truth. Everybody wants what's fair. Most people do, whether we agree or we think we're on one side or the other. One side wants their voice heard because they think they're right, but basically they don't want to be squashed, right? And the other side, so all of us want to be heard. As humans, we want to be heard. For our psychological and mental health, we need to be heard. Period. And anything that you squash, that you put under, becomes perverse. Honestly. You got to put the light on it. You got to let things out. You got to air it out. You got to scream it off the top of your lungs, whatever it is. That's the way we are built to process and coexist and be happy and nourish and flourish. Period. End of story. Look it up. Take your time. Watch 1,000 documentaries that are out there and 1,000 books that are out there. And that's just giving you just whatever number because there's so many out there. That's it. Now, with that being said, then she's really throwing things out. So it's like you're doing some low budget things, Candace. You're talking about this guy acting low budget, not being perfect and leaving you hanging and all your judgments, which you have the right to say. But what about your comeback? What a lady, huh? You consider yourself, you're such a conservative. You're so traditional. You're so perfect. You do everything right. Everything you say is 100% right. No, just like whatever I say is not 100% right and nobody. Talk about egocentric. Look at the person that's always saying it. It takes one to know one. I don't hear anybody else saying that. I hear a lot. I hear people still getting into the drama on who's doing better or who's right or who's wrong, which is classical, natural. Yes, I get it. But people are getting into the drama. I'm very expressive and I might sound dramatic, but I'm not. I'm not getting into the drama. I'm telling you, a spade is a spade here. And her thrown out like the gay Gerard something, which I don't even know the story. And hey, Crowder, why don't you release him from his NDA? I got to look into that story. But you're going to tell me that that's a 30-something-year-old mother of two? A businesswoman? Girl, I've seen her. I told you guys, I've seen her act really nasty to Nicole Arbor. Even if I don't care for Nicole Arbor, she still was nasty. And as a professional and as a host of a show, not graceful at all. You should never, ever get to the point where your guest has to stand up and go, or that you're kicking your guest off the set as it's filming live or not. Period. End of story. If you're so together. Oh, God. I need some water. Just a couple seconds of this. Just to highlight the wonderfulness of her righteousness.
That's insulting to Brett Cooper. You have no idea what he's just saying shit, right? And it's not like he's reached out to us and said, hey, like, I'm doing this for all of us. Like, it's not like he reached out independently to Daily Wire host and been like, are you dealing with these egregious terms? No, he is doing this purely, let's not even try to make this anything but a selfish act that was to benefit Steven Crowder, who wants to launch his own network. Because, and by the way, and I say this,
then why are you getting so upset? Why are you getting so upset, Candace? Why are you getting so upset? Let's just say it. He's just being selfish. Why are you so upset? Think about this. Look.
this is the most important part of this, and nobody is talking about this.
Oh, nobody's talking about this. Hello? He obviously said he was going to get out of the blaze, and he didn't know what he was going to do, where he was going to go, whether he had offers or not, you know? Before this whole video thing that just happened this week, before this whole, let me let you guys know, let's sign up to stop, you know, was it stopcon.com? Wait, stop big con. You know me, I'm always going to mess it up. But you get me, right? So that's right there. Again, she could keep talking. I can pick apart every single second.
He receives the term sheet, okay? And he thinks it's so egregious that he's got to make this video 4 months later, right? I don't know.
Say, it's like you upset the apple cart here. And that's all you're doing. You're not making any points. You're not convincing me. Oh, shit, don't tell me. Oh, my God. I just realized that I've been talking this whole time without sharing my screen. Talk about me getting up all beyond the verklempt. Well, I hope you guys at least heard the audio. But again, you can go to Timcast IRL, check it out. But let's backtrack for a second here. And I had queued it to 39 minutes. I wrote a couple notes. Again, there's so much to be said. But the bottom line is that stop talking about money. Stop going back and forth. Everybody get out of the drama. And, everyone should just be tweeting, hashtagging, stop censorship, end censorship, boycott big tech. Let's all be such a pain in the ass, go on a strike. We don't watch anything on YouTube for a month. See what happens to big tech. Again, they already have all the money. But do you see what I'm saying? All of us as a society, no matter what side you think you're on, needs to be loud in one way of saying, I don't like this. I don't like this. It's like when you go to a restaurant. I'm sorry, I didn't ask for pepperoni on this pizza, for example, right? I'm sorry. Can you give me what I ordered? I ordered, a cheese pizza. You gave me a pepperoni. That's simple. You send it back. You send it back. You send it back. You send it back. You keep telling them, I'm not happy with this. This is right. This is wrong. This is not cooked. This is raw. Whatever it is, right? When you're being done wrong, you speak up. You say something, especially if you're a paying customer. Regardless if YouTube is free and you're not paying a premium, they're selling our information. They're using our eyes and our energy, specifically our souls. So don't give me that shit. So at 39 minutes, right about here, he talks about, again, I just want to keep bringing it back to censorship. I just want to keep bringing it back. And it's not because Olga has a problem with this. Like you all know, I've been having a problem with this since the day I was born. So this is way before big tech ever existed. But now that we have this way to connect with each other in a way we never had before, and there's positive to that, they have to ruin it. You get my point? Now, So here he goes. Check this out.
What does it mean? It means Steven can go on YouTube.
Oh, wait, here we go again.
A huge audience. In fact, most of his audience, that's where they engage with him, right? The subscribers are a very small percentage of Steven's audience. Mug Club is a very small percentage of his audience. YouTube is the vast, overwhelming majority of Steven's audience. He can go on there and he can be risque and he can do what he wants to do, but he can be calculated too. And he can say, there are some things that I simply can't say here because these bastards hate free speech. For those things, come over to Mug Club and become a subscriber. And then for 30 minutes a day at the Blaze, he could say whatever he wanted. And I thought that was a genius thing, and I implemented it at Daily Wire because I was inspired by Stephen, who, again, very talented guy, very smart guy. This is just meant to say the same thing. Hey, I want you to be thoughtful about what you say on the free part of the show. Doesn't mean I want you to say things that aren't true. Doesn't mean I want you to say things you don't.
Right there. I want you to be thoughtful. Why? Because you're, like he said, you're in bed with big tech. I mean, the guy had Carrie Lake on his show and he got taken down immediately. I mean, they're literally hounding this guy. It's not like he said something, the bot came by and took it down. No, he's literally targeted for a guest coming on before they even open their mouth. Oh, they're watching. I mean, they've got to have probably a whole team of people just sit there going, all right, the Crowder crew over here. That's all you do for your life. That's your living. This is what we pay you here at YouTube headquarters. You sit down, all 10 of you, and you watch every move this guy does, and you shut him down. Everything that has to do with this, that. Besides the fact that the bots are also still there, always there. When he says, right there.
On the free part of the show, doesn't mean I want you to say things.
But notice how it was a 52-minute video. And it's already, look, we're at 40 minutes. And it mostly was talking about money, contract, and basically saying, hey, you could have just renegotiated. You didn't have to do it this way. And even if you already know the video, obviously the follow-up video to this from Crowder was of recording of phone calls. Is it morally right? Is it wrong? Well, let me tell you something. How do you get proof of what these people really say? Behind closed doors, which is where the elephant in the room, things have to come to light. They're not talking honestly. Neither is Candace. Neither is any of these people. And even if Crowder, who happens to be a Cancer, which I've always mentioned that, he's definitely emotional. So there's going to be a part of him that's going to, act more on the emotional side, and not like Candace. He's a male too, so he can control in a certain way. And of course, they've also been talking about how he's an actor. He's a child actor. I believe she mentions it as well. So it's just a total act. What's an act? The reason why you're flipping out is because how can you prove, Candace, or all of you, that you have the greatest contract, that you are not told the exact same thing? They didn't tell you, Candace, and all you people. And I got nothing against Candace, nothing against Michael Knowles or anybody at the DW. I don't particularly like most of them. Some of them I do, some of them I don't. Regardless. That they are working within lines. And it's not for business like they're trying to say, it's a risk, it's business. Bullshit. And that's exactly where... how can anybody refute that? But again, just check this out again.
Hey, I want you to be thoughtful about what you say.
I want you to be thoughtful about what you say. Free speech is free speech, bro. But I get it. The money. Remember that clip from Ben Shapiro where somebody caught him like on a hot mic, or I don't know who leaked it. But he was like, hey, can you erase that part that I said about something about the Transformers, whatever you want to call them. Because again, don't want to say the name unless I say I love them. I love them so much. No. The truth is the truth. It's nothing personal. And that's when we start being all careful about what they think or, their feelings, the PC police. That was it. We should have never, ever, ever. I have never. Oh, I now remember the story I was about to tell when Ken was on with me. See, I knew it would come around again. I think I told you guys this story. I have many similar, but this one, having a guest come to my house for Christmas years ago. And I had some friends that smoked, and I allowed people to smoke in my house, to do whatever they wanted. I wanted my friends or my family, whoever, anybody in my home as a host, I want you to be happy and be yourself 100%. And the only thing I won't tolerate is people being mean, or fighting physically, whatever it is. If you're nice, you're good. you know? So this one person was like, oh, I'm a vegan. I'm like, well, I got a bunch of, vegetable dishes and whatnot, And then they come up to me again. Can you do me a favor? Can they stop smoking cigars or whatever? And I'm like, no. She's like, but I have asthma. I'm like, why'd you come here? First of all, you're not even my friend. It was a friend of a friend. She got invited. And I said, okay. She asked me, can I bring my friend? Sure. Well, you know what? And you're going to go to my house. You don't even know me. And I have to stop, or everybody has to stop what they're doing for you. You are out of your mind. And and I remember that was right around 2006 where I remember feeling there was a movement coming because of all my gay friends, especially certain lesbians that were saying to me like, Olga, that's the wrong word for when it's finished. You shouldn't say done. The right word is finished. So all this and I remember friends from California in the 90s telling me, so this movement's been happening little by little, little by little. And I remember that in the mid 90s, like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. Sure. You don't want to offend anybody. Plus it's like, what's the big deal? Okay. Yeah. All right. A word is a word. I can change a word. No problem. Then by 2006, when that happened, I knew, oh shit, this is going to keep happening in a grander scale. Okay. This is YouTube. People weren't on it much. I think they launched 2004, 2005. But what I'm getting at, or what I'm continuously, reinforcing might be the right word. I don't know. You get me. Sometimes you just don't have to say it. You know where I'm going. So at that point, I remember that when that person said to me about don't say the steak is done, say the steak is finished or something like that. I believe it was something about food in specific. And we were at a friend's house for dinner. Not my house. At a friend's house. As a matter of fact, she was dating my best friend's daughter. And I said, listen. And it was again, all these this isn't right. And you should say it this way. And I go, I can say whatever I want. Freedom is freedom. No, but that's not nice. And I go, well, you're not being nice. I remember saying to her, I said, I can't really express how I really feel because this is not my house and I'm going to be a good guest. I said, but honestly, you're offending me. How dare you tell me how to talk? Who died and made you God? Or you know what I mean. Back to this guy and my point of, I want you to be thoughtful. No, you want to not lose money and you're going to do what big tech wants you to do so that you don't lose money. I understand that. I can respect that. That's business. But bro, you can't act like you're all about free speech and honesty and pretend to be a conservative who believes in the Constitution and do that shit. It's very simple.
On the free part of the show, doesn't mean I want you to say things that aren't true. Doesn't mean I want you to say things you don't believe. Doesn't mean I want you to bend the knee to big tech. What it means is...
Yes, it does mean to bend the knee to the big tech.
I want you to preserve the revenue as best you can, preserve the audience as best you can.
As best you can. You can't be yourself. You're not going to produce the same energy when you're being filtered. Why don't you just let him be himself, and why don't you create a bot that bleeps the stuff that you don't want him to say? Just saying. Can we compromise here? Maybe there's a happy medium. Anybody thought about that? Anyone? Oh, shit. I told you I was going to be on fire. I mean, where else? Yeah. But honestly, real quick, did you guys see this clip at all? Are you familiar? Because actually the quartering brought this to my attention. I was like, oh shit. I remember hearing something, but I never really looked into it. So I did yesterday. Have you guys ever seen this? Now, granted, this is about 5 years ago. But again, the Nicole Arbor thing, that was what, 2 years ago? So, and don't get me wrong, it takes people a lifetime to change, to grow up and stuff like that. I'm still growing up. Yay! And I'm proud of myself for that, okay? Because life is all about growth till the day you die. So, let's see.
You're talking about acts. Are you going to let me finish? She's literally bringing up laws right now that could have been violated, even though it wasn't violated, even though it wasn't created, because your intent is what we were criticizing.
I intend to drive drunk. I don't drive drunk.
Can you let me respond?
It just makes no sense. You're not making sense.
Because
Did I do it, yes or no?
Maybe if I could finish a sentence, you'd understand that I am making sense. But if I can't actually reveal my point to you, how are you going to...
And it's not a dox. We need to stick with the definition of dox, because that is where things went.
I do want to clear up some
definitions.
Like, I need to be able to finish what I'm saying is the thing. Okay, so Are you telling me that it's absolutely insane and it's absolutely fantasy land for someone like you to come out and you're a staunch free speech supporter, correct? You come out and you say, I support free speech. That's something you
When did I say that?
I
do, but I'm asking you what you said. You come out and you say that was my whole shtick. But I'm asking you, when did I say that?
I didn't say it was your whole shtick. I said that's part of who you are and what you believe is that you are in support of free speech. Do you think it's absolutely insane for someone to question someone who supports free speech?
The reason that I support free speech is because
I have to
I
finish my question. I have a lot of questions for you. You have to let me actually ask them.
Right.
Okay, so you are someone who supports free speech. That's part of your message as a conservative, which is a great message. Do you really think it's that crazy for people?
This is Blair White. Do you know who she is? She's a trans, right? Woman. And I love her. Him, I don't care. I don't think she cares what you want to call her. She's happy with herself. She's honest with herself. She's living her life. However, like anyone should live their freaking life and without imposing it on anyone else. And I think she's got a good soul, a good heart, a good mind. I think she's a good person. And no one can take that away. And your gender doesn't make you that. And notice, they're both young. This is years ago. They're both up and coming, right? At this time and period. And yet, look, you could change your behavior, but you don't change your character. I know this for a fact, and I've yet to see it in my life. Very few and far between has somebody been able to change their character before they die. Just saying. And we can get in that discussion. You guys can bring me some people, maybe like some famous people. I don't know. We can go down that analyzation.
Free speech, that's part of your message as a conservative, which is a great message. Do you really think it's that crazy for people to see Red Pill Black supporting free speech and then look back a year ago and see that she tried to create a website that doxed people? And you can say it wasn't doxing, but when you publish people's information,
we're going to get to the bottom. That is not true. That is categorically false.
Let's try to clean up.
I just don't understand how it's perceived to be so insane.
First,
Fantasyland.
Two questions here. First, it's important that we address doxing, and I'm going to let you do that.
Yeah, all right. So let's just one thing at a time here, because there's a lot here. So first off, we can pull up. You're welcome to pull up the definition of doxing. I think part of what's happening here is we're struggling with a couple of. So as I said, splash page, which you did forward me some emails. You guys were referring to this as a splash page the entire time.
Splash page, is what she said.
Now, in essence, that may have been some confusion by your web guy. I mean, you forwarded me the whole change. So
see, Candace, if you want to throw out ask Crowder or whoever you're talking about, ask them about when they did this and that, and what happened to that and the NDA. Dude, don't they say don't throw stones when you live in a glass house? I'm not sure if that applies to this. If that's like the greatest analogy or, but you know what I'm saying? It's like the fact that she's getting so upset says it all. And it's not defending her. It's not defending DW. And definitely Timcast. And I can't wait to hear Crowder's, because nicely, Tim Pool did say on his Timcast IRL, we can only talk so much about this without Crowder being here to defend himself. But then again, why is this all of a sudden where he has to defend himself? See, what's funny? So he pulls out a stunt. I would have advised them to not respond. Period, end of story. Yet they did. Wow. They claim to be such good business people, right? Candace is saying it too, right? Business. Okay, well, and then she jumps in the boat with them to not make good business decisions? Why would they all go crazy over a stunt? They could all just been nice about it, like, he just pulled the stunt. That's it. That's what he does. He's a performer. He's a comedian. Done. There's been so many ways they could have handled this. The only part that I give a shit about, is the truth, honesty, and freedom. Period. End of story. And stop using people and destroying their lives and cutting them in every way. It's like, I like how Ken compared this with the dictatorship and Stalin. But see, now you can't even say anything like that because like Gina Carallo, I think I said that right, she makes a little like, hey, you guys are acting like we're in Germany. Again, Why would, hey, YouTube, you listening? Bots or not? How do you live with yourself when someone's being a good person? I'm going to speak for myself. I'm not here attacking anybody. I'm a loving person that wants everybody to get together. I don't want anybody to fight. And I just think the truth should never be censored. You wouldn't want the truth to be censored. If you got raped and somebody hid it and they saw you as a witness, right? If somebody stole from you and there was a witness or there was a camera recording and somebody took that footage, you wouldn't like that. Nobody likes that the truth cannot come out in any scenario. Know that. Know that when you're doing your job of censoring, I get it. You're getting paid. You got a job. You needed it. Good for you. But when they say what comes around goes around, that's not, regardless of whether you believe in karma, whether you believe in God, or whether you're spiritual or not, or you're agnostic, atheist, doesn't matter. How you treat others will come back. And look what happened. I will say what happened in Germany. Of course, I'm not going to give more words because you know the words. But my point is, it is human nature. Ask a therapist, ask a psychiatrist. If they tell you any different, they're lying. And they're letting their politics get in the way of their so-called education. Because the education and the studies and the research is out there. Groupthink. Mass psychosis. We can go on and on. We got rats to prove it, but we even have history, human history to prove it. You can tell your neighbor, lower your music down. You're not taking his freedom away. You're just saying there's a compromise there. Hey, play your music. I probably hate your music. Again, that's not a word I ever use, but that's how people speak. I can't stand that music. I hate it. So, but they have the right. They're paying. They're on their land. Okay, too loud. They lower it. We all can coexist. But don't be like, shut that off. That's wrong. That's evil. Or you know what I mean? That's devil music. I don't care how you want to call it. But that's what everybody is doing. I'm going to shut you down because I don't agree with you. That's the whole point of the Constitution. That's the whole point where the founding fathers sat down and took their time to make sure they wrote all that, especially by the first one, freedom of speech. Wisdom shows there is no room for any type of censorship because what you want censored, somebody else thinks it's fine, et cetera, et cetera. And no one, we're all equal, but no one is alike 100%. So you can't have one rule that's going to fit and anything good come from it. So just pretty basic that you're born free. You're born free. I don't care who tells you anything different. You're born free. Every animal's born free. Every insect is born free. Free. And I'm not even going to go down the rabbit hole on whether we live in a simulation. Because I can get down with you on that one too. But regardless, us humans, are cutting each other off, are taking away our freedoms, are blocking ourselves from everything. We are doing it to each other. Don't do that. Don't go there. Don't say this. Don't dress like that. Let's be all inclusive. See, and I'm tired of hearing those words like hypocrisy. They're being hypocrites. That's a hypocrisy. No. All inclusive means all inclusive. So just like you can stand up and say, hey, I want to feel comfortable. I want my safe space. You should be able to stand in front of the opposite or anything different from you and say, hey, you be you, I be me. But see, why is it that they get so out of their way? Because there's emptiness. And when you become a part of something, it makes you feel emptiness gone. And I know we talk about this all the time. I'm not the only one, right? All these people. But yeah, I think I'm gonna. I think I said it all. If you guys already saw all this going down, I was gonna play the president, little whatever. At least I mentioned it. But going back to that whole, I don't think it was a slip up that she said, the president, Kamala. I don't. I think just to come back to this and just get it out, I don't think she did. And I think it's been happening. And Biden actually slipped up and said the same thing about Kamala Harris. And so what? That's the thing. We shouldn't be going, oh, look, she said it. No, it's how clear do you want to know how much they do what they want and pretend? So Candace, instead of attacking or trying to defend yourself or whatever, DW, also Jerry at DW, all of you, this right here, this is what matters. Not politics. This. Because you're all fighting over keeping your money and your sense of security. It's going down either way when no one's paying attention to this.
The president will speak about the fight to secure women's fundamental right to reproductive health care in the face of these attacks. She will talk about what's at stake for millions of women across the face of this Sunday, the president will speak about the fight to secure women's fundamental right to reproductive health care in the face of these attacks. She will talk about what's at stake for millions of women across the country, and most importantly, the need for Congress to codify the protections of Roe into law.
They just do what they want. They just do what they want. They just do what they want.
Saving us from something much.
It's like, okay. And again, if the fight for freedom of speech and non-censorship from big tech and making them accountable and changing the laws, it can happen. It has happened in history, specifically 1776, in a different way because we didn't have big tech then, but speech, right? Or having to pay to somebody we don't want to pay to. It's the same shit. I don't know what happened. I got cut off. I hope we're still here. I hope I didn't lose you guys. I'm sorry. Hey, Love God Bible Truth. Welcome. Great to see you. Somebody right and somebody wrong. This half and half destroyed this country. Also, the Constitution is based on a Christian people. Oh, I wonder if you're still here. I think I've seen you maybe once. Great to see you back. Hey, BKTP. Chakra Khan, Tennessee Whiskey. You're welcome. Wait, this is the thing. This is why when you guys want me to read a chat, super chat it, and that way I won't miss it. Because I'll see the color jump up. Obviously, the members, too. I definitely can see you guys more because of the colors that pop up with your name, the member. Again, Victor, welcome as the latest member. Morton, by the way, I know I've mentioned when you have dinner, you're like, dinner's when I'm hungry. Very cool. Yeah, I did see Victor about Greta, how she got in trouble. And Germany. Yeah. Nah, I think that's an act. It's another setup. So Love God Bible Truth says she's a dog of Daily Wire. She's very biased. Yeah, I have seen it. It's like, girl, for somebody who's so righteous, just stick to your truth, girl. And whoever agrees with you will, and who doesn't. But stick to your truth. I agree with you. And I'm not just saying I agree with you. Love God Bible Truth. I'm saying that's how I see it too. And that's why I used to watch her here and there, and I can't. I haven't been able to for a while. Same with Timcast too. Granted, I'm glad they're going to use this platform. That's what it's there. But I've seen, again, the way Tim handled the whole Kanye situation. I already saw how he's handling the way he yells at his guests and stuff and cuts them off. There's just so much. I'm like, not my style, but I would watch him to see what that demographic is watching and listening to. You know, I like to be plugged in. I don't like to just talk to people that agree with me. And most of the people in my circle, they never agree with me. And they label me and they judge me, even knowing me as a person. I just had this conversation again the other day. One of my closest people, they're like, Olga, come on. Like, admit it, you're a Republican. I'm like, no, I'm not. You know that. You know, I'm like a registered independent. I'm a libertarian. If you want to call me any label, but I don't have one. And I'm proud of that because all the institutions are corrupt. And so I'm like, there's just something by the nature of an institution, it becomes corrupt. So let's all be independent. Tanya, I know you mentioned something like that about the publishing. So, I can't wait to get in. I will really want to talk to you about that, Tanya, and locals ASAP. I think I got 8 days left. Or I'll reach out to you, Tanya, and see, because I just want to make it as easy as possible. So I'm just trying to think, like, what link could I send you to have a chat? Not just you. If you got any ideas, shoot me a DM, anywhere, or my email's in the description below. Guys, anything you want to know about me or how to contact me or become a member, support me, buy me a coffee, everything goes to this channel. Right back to you. And hooking up with more and more people like us, which I believe is most of the world. I really do. I really do. I have never sat down with someone and not got them to give me a hug and feel good. Ever. Hasn't been easy most of the times. I've been in really, really hard pickles. They say when I'm in a pickle, I've been in some hard ass jarred pickle. But I believe, and I stand to my beliefs, that when you love, there is no bias, there is no judgment, and I do believe it melts. It makes, like kind of like the Grinch, or that love, that energy, that spirit in the air, made his heart grow 3 times or 2 times bigger. I mean, some people are mentally ill and you just can't. You just gotta, usually if I see something like that, I'm walking down the street, I'm like, because they're unpredictable and they're erratic. You know what I mean? But even those people deserve love and attention and compassion. 100%. And I do it. I walk my walk. I don't just preach. And that's why I also started this with you guys. I'm like, where's the other people like me? Just because they're not around in my immediate circle doesn't mean they don't exist. So yeah, so you know how I was thinking about doing a reaction video after this video. I didn't think I was going to take this long, and I was going to get into this whole Utah doctor that, again, I'm even like concerned whether I should screenshot it. And I was going to take it to Rumble for that part. But at this point, I actually need a break. So, save that for some other time. Who knows? Maybe I'll surprise you and we'll meet over the weekend. Maybe on my Silent Sunday. Well, I'll turn the Silent Sunday into a Sunday Fun Day. What do you guys think? Let me know. Whether you're watching this live, smash that like button, comment, share, comment below. Your comments are my fuel. I do read them. I will respond. So, I'm either not doing a reaction and I'm done for the day until next time, or I had queued up Tyson James. I got a lot of love for that guy. First of all, somebody else, when I first started this channel, had recommended that I watch his music video called Two Genders, and I loved it. I still listen to it. And then James actually, I didn't know, I don't know if he actually is subscribed to my channel, follows me, but he actually, when I posted a poll about which next reaction, artist song, and all that for you to do next that you guys voted for, he wrote a comment like, yeah, do the Balenciaga. And I did, because not only that, he then, after I did that, it was so sweet, he also tagged me and posted it and told everybody to check it out and give me a like. So, see what I'm saying? That's a heart. That's a soul. That's a God's man right there. However you want. You know what I mean? I don't care. It's not about religion. It's about love, truth, God, goodness. We don't know shit. You know what I mean? But love is definitely one way to communicate with whatever the hell made us. Anyway, I'm just being funny about it. But I do believe that there is a creator. No doubt about it. I don't know whether you think it's an alien or not. I do. Now, hold on. So here, he just launched. And I put the notification. Can you see? I just want to make sure. Am I sharing? Yeah, okay. So I had put the notification on and he launched it. Oh, today's the 20th. It says 12. Okay, let me refresh. Maybe I got to refresh. He was supposed to be premiering the song at noon today. Oh, he did. Ooh. So I'm thinking I take a quick break. I come back real quick and do a live reaction of his latest drop from Tyson James, Bodies. You know, and don't get me wrong, I'll go back to the list that I've been accumulating. I had another request the other day. Somebody requested a song from the Afro Man. Oh, I remember being partying. That was my heyday, you know, when I got high, you know. Well, I don't remember all the words, but of course, when the song plays, I kind of remember some of the words, you know. And then I got high. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm talking about? And I was like, oh, man, that would be interesting. And I saw that it was kind of trending and whatnot. So I don't know. But, yeah, as far as the next song, I didn't put another poll up for today. So I thought, you know what? Either I'm going to do another flip a coin or that's it. We're just going to be spontaneous. And let's support and check out Tyson James. And let's give him a real honest reaction. Whether we like it or not. What do you guys think? I'm looking at your super chats. I'm looking at all your chats, Rumble chats. Make sure to smash that like button, Rumble. But Rumble, just letting you know, once I cut off the stream, it doesn't let me come back right away. And that's what I typically do. I take a quick break and I come back. So if you want to see the live reaction that I'm going to be doing, the link for my YouTube channel, it's right in the description below. And if not, don't worry. The replay will be uploaded to Rumble, and definitely give it a watch and let me know what you think. So let's see. Either it's Friday and you guys want to go, and we'll just drop it now because it's been 2 hours, or it's Friday and you guys are in the mood. I'll come back and have some fun. What do you guys think? I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if the song's going to be serious or not. But that's the excitement that we don't know. Tanya Gray says, I haven't seen it yet. Let's go. Okay. Love it. Victor, yay. All right, that's all I'd say. I got one or two. At least I'm not alone. Carrie Lewis, cool with me. All right, guys. I love you. Much love. Many blessings. I'll be right back. Give me like 10 minutes tops. You know what I got to do. And if I don't see you in the next live in a few minutes, much love, many blessings. Until the next time. Thank you. Thank you for all your likes, for all your comments, for watching, for joining. Much love. I'll be right back.